up, folks? Fat Guy Flies RC. We're out here at the Avon Park field. We're going to take up my Valiant. Have not flown this plane in a hot minute, so I'll take it down here at the other end and get ourselves a range test out of her, which I always recommend doing, especially when you haven't flown a plane in a while. Get yourself a range test. I'm running probably the biggest battery I've ever ran in her. I can't talk. A 3S 3200 Spectrum Smart Lipo. But that's the highest end that they call out for the plane, and I had a couple with me, so that's what I'm flying. So, but this is my second Valiant. The first one had an unfortunate encounter with the ceiling fan. Messed up the wing back when I first got the plane, when it first came out, and didn't really know how to fix them, and I messed up the fuselage getting the wing off and ripped up the fuselage. I messed that plane up, so I repaired it since then, and it does fly, but I consider it my backup Valiant, and this is my main Valiant. And so anyways, I don't have any of the voice prompts in there. I have the 3200 battery as back in the wheel and back as far back in the battery tray as I can get it, because it is the biggest battery it calls for. CG is spot on for doing that with that big of a battery. And let's see, I probably need to work on the mix. It looks like she wants to probably have too much mix there, too much down elevator when I put the landing flaps in. Well, we'll see. It could be just the wind. You really, when you go out and fly a plane and it's super windy, really honestly, don't count on being able to do a good trim job and trimming it, because you really can't tell, honestly, the trim, because it's so windy. It's going to be so hard for you to tell what's really going on with the plane. I mean, trim it enough where you can keep her in the air, but to really figure out how things are working, like flaps to elevator mix, that's real hard to tell when it's windy. So anyways, all right, got the motor all the way off now. I'm considering it being a dead stick. Flaps are down. Well, all right. I cheated. I did have to give it a little bit of gas there. I don't want to get in that grass there, and I want to make up over that ridge. But anyways, let's see if we can take off in this grass here. Nope, I don't even want to try it. I mean, I could probably jump up out of there, but why do that when I got a runway right here? All right. Okay. This is one of the best planes that, in my opinion, that Horizon Hobby E-flite's ever made. It seriously is. In my opinion, this is one of the best planes they've ever made. Sorry, I'm not trying to blind y'all. I'm trying to blind myself. But I'm the only ones here, so if I'm flying over the clubhouse, I don't have any. I mean, my wife's here, but she's underneath the cover, so I'm not going to hit her. Besides, she'd be very mad. It'd be a cold night for me. And like I say, it's almost pointless to try to. I could try landing on the runway, but well, I'll try. But you know what? I'll try from this direction because I don't want to be looking at the sun. And the wind is absolutely 90 degrees across the runway. So, well, I say 90 degrees, almost 90 degrees. Oh man, that gust hit me there at the last, and I was afraid I'd slam her down too hard. So bleed off a little bit of speed here. We're going to do a no flap landing here. Don't need flaps with this wind. Rudder to get her straight. There, that's not too bad. Here, I'm kind of looking at an angle there so you don't have directly into the sun, folks. I'm sorry about that. Don't want to blind y'all at home. If you're wondering what that black tape is, or that black marking on the front of the Valiant, this is the one that had the motor mount problem, and my 2, this one had the motor mount problem, so I had to go in there and take the motor off, and the motor mount, the firewall, I had to unglue all that, and then anchor all that down. And the only thing that really worked well was Gorilla Glue. And unfortunately, they didn't have the stuff that doesn't expand. They just had the kind that has the that foams up. That's all they had at the time, and I really want to get it fixed, and so that's what I used. And then of course it foamed up and bled out around that seam, so I had this perfectly brand new model, and all this nasty foam. Well, trying to get that off and file that down, it just absolutely marred trying to use a little bit of sanding paper. I'm like a bull in the china shop, doing fine sanding and fine work. Anyways, so I decided for now, until I can maybe get a new cowling and maybe even a new fuse, just for looks, or learn a little bit better about you know, body work on these things, then maybe I just put the black tape around it. Couldn't find any blue tape to match the paint, so the black doesn't look too bad. There. Boy, she loves her rudder. She does love her rudder. And I love the black and white stripes that they give you. All right. This wind is making the landings, how shall we say, interesting. Hey, buddy. All right, well, we're gonna call it quits. That was a 6.5 minute flight, and I got 6.5 minutes. I got 47. So what's that? 5.75 minutes left, or 5.75 flight. So, anyways, flaps up. All right, folks. Well, there you go. That is the E-flite Valiant. Now they have reintroduced this Valiant with a new ESC and a smart telemetry receiver. They put it out for $199. Got my motors off. I don't have the sound props, but let's go back, and on a 3200 3-cell, let's go back and look at how much. I have my timer set for 6.5 minutes. I have 47 seconds left. Okay, and let's go back and see how much battery life we have. And y'all watched me fly. You watched everything I did. Lots of landings and takeoffs. And let's just see how much life we have left in this battery. You know, it'd been a lot easier if I just would have kept the darn thing in my pocket. We could have done it out there. I think I'll do that next time. All right, I'm gonna undo the, I know I'm done with this battery, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take it out. And just to show you the battery placement, I've got it all the way back against just maybe, what, a finger's length of, again, between the firewall and the front of the battery. So that 3200 is all the way back. That's a 30C discharge 3S Spectrum Smart battery. All right, bear with me. I'm going to get it out of here real quick if the Velcro will stop fighting me. Okay, battery is just maybe you can detect some warmth in there. 73% left on basically a 5.5 minute flight. I could have flown, what, 5.5? I could have flown a good 18 minutes on a 3200. So if you want an almost 20-minute flight on a Valiant, put a 3200 3S with mixed flying. Throttle management, you could get a solid 20 minutes out of it. So there you go, folks. Oh, another thing I've done with this plane, I put Blenderm tape in here on the hinges. You can't even really see it. Just Blenderm tape. With a glare you can see it. Put it on the underside, that way you don't see it. That just gives you a little extra peace of mind. You can see this Valiant needs to be painted and given some more treatment, some TLC, but boy, she flies good, don't she? All right, folks, thank you so much for watching. That is the E-flite Valiant, one of the best planes you could possibly get. I highly recommend it. I don't know if I would say it's a first plane, but definitely a strong second plane. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and God bless y'all.